I don't put nothing past none of these niggas.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Another day of hearing my name called for a whole bunch of goddamn reasons and weird ass storytelling. Like it, I know why. Like I get it. It's like on one hand, motherfuckers is bringing out shit to try to get me back on the hamster wheel with them and go back and forth and all that shit. And I just ain't gonna do it. And on the other one, you gotta hear motherfuckers. I don't know. I ain't cried about nothing nobody has done to me online. So it's funny hearing people cry about what I've done to them and giving excuses and all that shit when motherfuckers fuck with me first. I ain't gonna say no names, but Anaya, Sheed, I lied. I'm saying names. I don't know why y'all felt the need to address BAMs and act like I did something worse to y'all 18-year-old daughter than y'all did to my 6-year-old child. I just don't get it. Just like how you said, that's baby. That's why I came out, because this your baby and she's an adult. That's how I felt about my 6-year-old when your husband initially put something up and you sat there with it. I ain't trying to go back and forth with you people. I really have washed my hands, but god damn, it's like every goddamn day y'all is involved in a storyline with my goddamn name. Can y'all ignore some shit when it comes to me? Or can y'all tell the story without using my goddamn name? I'm just saying, is that too much to ask? Because I don't be trying to tell no stories with y'all name, man. I'm trying to be off the hamster wheel. I'm trying to go in a whole nother direction. But you motherfuckers make it hard. But no, y'all don't make it hard. I just, again, it's weird because I know on one hand, the people like BAMs is using my name so I can come out here and get mad at somebody, but I don't have that energy for nobody. I don't get it. I ain't angry at nobody. It is what it is. I said from the gate, I understood Sheed's anger and all of that. I could put up with it. Just leave my child out of it. I said that a million fucking times. So I don't get it at this point. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go into that. All right. But yeah, I just every goddamn day, it's another live. It just is something always going on with my goddamn name in it. I don't know what to do. I guess there's one way to look at it, Leah, but it be bullshit. It ain't brought up in no good way. Let me say that. My name ain't being brought up in no good way. And I guess I partly have myself to blame for it because I done some fucked up shit. It is what it is. I ain't running from it. But everybody's supposed to be on this new path where they moved on. They ain't engaging in no toxic shit. They didn't forgave and they whatever the fuck they done. It's the way everybody's supposed to be on. But everybody's still doing the same shit that they was doing before they was on the new wave. So I can't see the difference. I honestly do not see the difference between the new wave and the peaceful journey and all that shit and when motherfucker was mired in bullshit. They both look the same to me, but maybe I got on some bifocals or some shit. I do wear contacts. Maybe I can't see. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but it all looked the same to me. But let me get off my soapbox and all of that shit. Tommy is debating some fella that said that Tommy, the women you talking about is the minority. The bruh may have a point. He may have a point, but I don't think he do because people that are on social media are the young girls. That's who run it. That's who all the influencers and shit are. The older women social medias ain't popping. So the image and the lifestyle and the behavior that's being projected is coming from the majority of young women. Because there's not a whole bunch of old bitches out here being ratchet. They may do some ignorant shit, but they're not just out here being ratchet. So let's see what he had to say.
Israel was trying to, I don't know, and Donald Trump was saying both y'all some stupid motherfuckers. He was really upset, and he's right. But you guys know I've been putting out stuff for years talking about black women. That is my wheelhouse. Talk about black women because, well, I know them, I fuck them, I hang with them. I was born from one. I actually really like black women. I just hate where they've come to. I put up a video about France, and I said, make France white again. And some black person came and told me, France used to be black. White people took it, and showed me a couple of videos. And I said, sir, if you didn't read what I said, when I went to France, it was 1998. Not 1798. It was 1998. Why are you telling me how blacks used to own this place, which apparently whites kicked their ass out? We don't know what kind of place it was for whites kicked their ass out, but I know what kind of place it was in 1998. And it didn't look like it looked on that damn video I put up there. So why are you telling me about something I've never witnessed? I said, that would be like me telling you, if you said you'd like to go La Brea, and I said, dinosaurs used to own that. Those of you who are from California, you got that joke. Because it wasn't a joke, it's actually a real thing. There's a place in called the La Brea Tar Pits. Tar comes from the death of the dinosaur. So we talk about going to La Brea, but they can say, well, the dinosaurs used to own it. Anybody talking about somebody used to own it? Somebody used to own my house before I had it. Fuck, you gonna sit up here and talk about them? No. Anyway. But a brother was talking to me, and he said he thinks that I go overboard with how I talk about black women, because he, like Dr. Boyce Watkins, and shout out to Dr. Boyce because he at least came on my show to have this discussion. And this man has been on my page, getting on my motherfucking nerves. He would talk all the damn time. And I said, look, man, you come on my show and talk about that. We'll have that discussion. And here we are. And before we get started, I told you guys before, well, I guess I can say it a little bit later when the numbers get higher. But right now, let me go on and bring him in. Detroit, boss. What's going on, bro?
What's happening, man? How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man.
All right. Now, you said that I talk about the minority like it's the majority. Explain.
Well, I'm somewhat new to X-Men, and so like the whole culture of it, you know what I'm saying, is a little bit new to me. But then, I've been watching you for years, and before we even get into disagreement or agreement, I do want to give you flowers in case I never have an opportunity to speak with you again. You are the progenitor of this, as far as like the guy of the whole manosphere, conservative black content creator, man. And I've been watching you for years. And so like you wouldn't have like the Kevin Samuels, the Fresh and Fit, the Duke Jackson, the Nate the Lawyer, none of that. And so like we was having a conversation earlier on my stream where like you cannot like a player or disagree with a player, but you got to respect the stats. And so I definitely, while I have an opportunity to speak with you, another black man is at the top of an industry, one of the best at doing what he's doing. I just want to have an opportunity to say, man, you are the godfather of this shit. But as far as the whole thing, no problem, sir. When I get on Twitter, man, it's like a goddamn race war. And what I've noticed is they'll take the stats, they'll take videos, and they'll take like negative depictions of black people, and then try to make that represent the entire whole of black. And in my world, what I'm saying, black men not, in prison, not selling drugs, not doing all this negative activity. And I know, specifically that minority that gets pushed that ends up representing the whole of black people doesn't represent the whole in real life. So I come across Mr. Sotomayor's page. And all I'm seeing is negative depictions of black women doing trashy bullshit behavior. But it seems like the sentiment is this is what black women are.
Hey, brother on the line, I don't know if you noticed this, but they don't portray black men as that anymore. They portray us as gay. That's the image they're trying to. They didn't went past the thug shit. There's too many black millionaires that ain't doing that shit. There's athletes, actors, rappers, and all that shit. They've taken that away. Now they trying to effeminize all black men. We all gay. We all ratchet. We all wear dresses and shit of that nature. So that's the new wave they pushing, not the old stereotype you just brought up.
And then when I make comments on the pages, and your loyal following, saying they come at me, and it just seems to be an ideology where they think that the trashy behavior is representation of like 80-90% of black women, and I don't think that's the case.
Let me ask you something. What
yes,
if
sir.
When a person says, I'm sick of the grades my child is making, and they're upset, they're yelling at them, they're telling them you need to study, and you find out that the child is making a 70. Would you tell that person you act like they get all the answers wrong on their test?
No, you should expect excellence. If 70 is not your criteria that you accept, you should accept the criteria that you do accept.
Right. Now imagine when you say it's not the majority of black women. What was the amount of black women who voted for Miss Harris in the United States? What percentage was that?
I think overall black people voted for. I can't separate the black men and black women were separated by like 3 or 4 points, and
No.
I think it was either in the high. You sure?
Yeah, black men was 80%, black women were 92%.
Okay, I don't recall it being that big of a split, but I'll accept that. Okay, cool.
That's why black women went out of their way and said it was our fault that they lost the election.
I think that was a narrative before the election happened due to the polling, but then when the final numbers came out, I think it was a lot closer. But I could.
The point behind it is, how can that one group of people vote for that group of people over one person have a monolith mindset like that? If it's not all, and if it's not majority, how is it that when you say black women got a fat ass, black women agree to that like it's a majority? When you say black women are educated, black women agree to that like it's a majority. When you say black women don't take no shit, go ahead and tell a group of black women the reason these niggas date white women is because these white women put up with your shit and we don't. Do you think those black women would stand up and say, not all?
No.
Do you think they would stand up and say, that's not true about those black men? Not all those black men date white women for those reasons?
No.
When you say these niggas in the NBA, as soon as they get some money, or the NFL, as soon as they get some money, they get them a white bitch. You don't hear black women say, not all.
I agree.
When Kanye West said, as soon as a black man gets some money, he get him a white girl. Why is it that black women heard that line and cheered that line instead of saying, well, why would you blanket black men all with the same, would you paint them with the same brush? Why would you do that?
I think these are narratives that are persistent within in the subculture of black culture, but I don't think it represents reality. So what black women agree with or don't agree with is not really my argument. I'm just talking about, does it represent reality? And so I agree with you. All those things, you wouldn't hear a black woman disagree with.
So what I'm saying is the reality is this. If a black woman goes out there and she say, real black women get you told, real black women don't put up with no shit, and black women agree to that narrative, then they cannot then get mad if I point out with pictures them doing that. Because when somebody points out them doing that and doesn't put the title that I put on, and I want you to think about this, the same things that I put back out there have already been put out there. The difference is when World Star Hip Hop posted, they don't say black women do this. People just expect in the comment section, you will see those same people saying this. Yet when I post it and say black women do this, they'll come like you do and argue with me saying that I'm not supposed to generalize these people. Now, I'm a big fan of if you'll accept a generalization that you believe is positive, then you must also accept a generalization that is negative. Now, if black women were in the minority of doing this, well, for some odd reason, the majority on the internet seem to do this to the point of where I've been talking about this for how many years and have not run out of material.
Okay. See, the thing is that I understand that and I see that, but and we may disagree politically or whatever, right? But we still, black men living in America, and I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that you would agree that we're trying to recover from past things that happened in this country in order that we could be on a somewhat equal playing field, socially economic. And I have no problem with negativity being pointed out because we should be able to call out or not the negative. I have no problem with that either. But it seems to be playing into negative stereotypes, and it seems to be representing the whole in a negative way. Like, I can't hold myself to a standard to what a woman does because I'm a dude. And shouldn't we be promoting, of course you want to point out the negative so we can try to point it out and let people know that exists. But can I ask you, do you think that 80-90% of women are black women in America act that way?
I think 80 to 90% of black women agree with the behavior. Even this woman I caught today, when she was trying to talk shit about black women getting on social media wanting to get attention, she was just mad because she couldn't get attention. That was the only reason she was saying it, because I went to her page and she had tried. So I think that a lot of black women see these black women and live vicariously through them, which means they accept the behavior. I'll explain. If the majority of people, the videos you saw were of white people running around just randomly calling blacks niggers, and you could put that up for 10 years and not run out of commentary, wouldn't you think that white folks kind of agree with that behavior? That this would be an epidemic amongst whites if you had 10 years of video, 10 years, where you can show white people across the United States. And I want you to think about it. There are way more white people in the United States by a landslide than there are black women in the United States. So if you can find black women doing all the things I'm saying, I'm showing, you should be able to find white people just randomly calling blacks niggers. But you can't. But if you were, nobody would have a problem with you saying, damn, it's an epidemic among these whites. Because not only could you find all these videos of whites doing it, but every time you tried to call out the whites doing it, other whites got mad at you and called you a nigger, increasing the number. Right. Because with black women, the ones who don't act like that, you know what they'll do to prove to me that they don't act like that? Just like that.
Okay, like now, on this particular point, we've had this conversation. You know, I got like a small little thing, just really like friends and family. You know what I'm saying? We go online, I travel a lot. So
I'm gonna tell you, they got surgeries for that.
Okay.
Because you said you had a small little thing, but go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I feel you. I'm gonna just make it happen. I gotta deal with what I got. But like, we have had similar conversations like this, and this is like the point that you just made. I've actually made that point a different way. One thing I will admit is persuasive or pervasive in the black female women community is they give passes for abhorrent behavior. And that is something that I will agree that there's probably a huge percentage that may not be involved in that activity, but they do give passes to it. So I can't argue with that one right there. The main thing is, it's just that I think it needs to be stated that this trashy bullshit behavior does not represent the majority of individuals that are female in our community. The same way black men don't take care of their kids and all that shit don't represent the males in our community. But it gets, that's a narrative though.
I was about to say, and guess who helps push it? Black women. Guess whose job it is to break that narrative? Black men. Atlanta.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on. In Atlanta. What do they think about the men in Atlanta? Go ahead. I don't know where you live at, but let's see if you said Detroit. I guarantee you got a thought to your head that first popped up when I say
black men also won't sit there and argue with people when they say black men don't take care of their kids. We don't argue with them. We just let them talk. If it don't apply, let it fly.
Men in Atlanta, what you think?
Sweet boys.
See? Now I live in Atlanta. Now, how do you think I have to sit there and deal with that? How do you think other men who are, do you think that the majority of men in Atlanta gay? Don't answer that.
No. I think it's probably a higher percentage because a lot of people from different cities moved there for some type of gay haven. And so that narrative became pervasive. But realistically speaking, in reality, I don't think the majority of men in Atlanta are sweet boys.
That's what I'm saying. So we understand that this exists, and we don't go around trying to fight or beat up people or say that don't put this negative stereotype on us. You ain't gonna beat what happens to you, especially if you encourage what's happening to you. If black men are running around with their pants around telling you how real and thuggish they are, you can't get mad when people call you this. You can't get mad as a black woman and say that there's a negative stereotype on you when you cheer, when you see that stereotype. Black women do not get mad when they are portrayed this way in movies, TV shows, commercials. They do not get mad. They ask for it. They say this person is keeping it real. When they see Jasmine Crockett, if you don't believe black women are like this in a large amount, why do you think Jasmine Crockett, an educated, well-spoken woman, when she's trying to reach out to black women, how does she talk and how does she act?
Man, see, you pulled out the specific things because I don't like the way she comes across. And it seems like a caricature.
But yet, who does like the way that she acts?
Whoever voted for her, man.
No. You've seen them say that they want her to run for president. You've seen them. Every time she cusses or acts a fool, she gets more and more black women saying that's somebody who represents us. So who's the one putting them in a box, a negative box? Me or them?
Man, if you listen to it, huh? I said, you listen to my conversations, man, because you pulled out the exact things that I do have problems with, like especially the Jasmine Crockett thing does bother me. I don't like all that sister girl shit. And it is true.
They back it up though. You got to go and ask them if you don't want to. I mean, come on. If I wanted people to not believe that niggas in Atlanta was gay, why is it that I would constantly be with gay niggas, around gay niggas, doing gay shit? Why would I do this if that's to prove, if I'm trying to disprove the narrative? Why would I then do something that looks like it's reinforcing it?
Because you're complicit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna bullshit you in this conversation. It's complicity. And my framing on this topic was more so of, does that represent reality? But the acceptance of it, you can't get mad. And I can't argue with that.
I actually think it does represent reality. I think that the majority of black women
Is it me or do dudes sound like E40?
Do have a loud mouth. I think that the majority of black women can easily be pushed or get to violence. I think that the majority of black women want to live a responsibility-free life. I think that the majority of black women would throw their own kid in a wood chipper if they could get a mixed one. I think that the majority of black women would be with a white man if they could find one. The only reason that they with niggas is because white men don't want them, which is why they treat us so bad. The one thing I learned throughout my lifetime, and especially as I got older, is when a woman don't want you and she wants somebody else and can't have them, she'll treat you bad. Not because you did something wrong, but because she doesn't like the fact that you are what she's left with.
Now, okay, some of these things that you're presenting, do you think that these are a result of like women's suffrage? Because there's white men who have some of these same issues, because women are able to be educated, they're competitors in the job market, they don't have to be protected by you anymore, they can call police and blah, blah, blah. And so do you think that this is specific to black women, or is this just a thing when people get more rights or people get more independence, that they don't need men the way they did previously? And so therefore it's a different ideology going on. Like, you're seeing women do things that we traditionally associate with men, but I don't think that's specifically to black women.
Who makes more money in the United States, black women or white women?
I don't know for sure, but just watching thinking,
white women by a landslide.
I mean, they are the highest beneficiaries of DEI and affirmative action.
No, I'm talking about just how much. I'm not. No, just go look up how much they make per year. Not that stuff. It's how much they make per year. They make more than black women, which means they have benefited more from women's suffrage.
Okay,
which means they also are still way higher in getting married than black women, way lower in kids out of wedlock. If what you're saying is true, then their numbers should be way higher because they make way more money and they had way more in at a point in history. They were together more than black women were, so they should be rebelling more than black women have. Remember, black women joined their movement. It was their movement.
For sake of conversation, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if the marriage rates within the white community and the black community, as far as like, have that huge of a difference.
It does.
But for sake of conversation, yeah, because the thing is, a lot of times things are narratives and then we just go with them, but then when you look it up, sometimes it's a little different.
That's why I actually look it up, because I only speak.
I think that we have different circumstances.
What are the circumstances?
Mm-hmm.
What are the circumstances? We just had Travis Hunter marry a white. Well, let me explain. Travis Hunter just married a white woman. All the black folks kept saying how he was too young to get married, and the white girl gonna use him for all his money. Every time, the majority of these black men, even say in the league, when they're young, they don't have a wife. Well, this young white quarterback, who's also a big time millionaire and also ready to
they damn sure said she gonna take all his money. That's what they keep saying.
What you didn't hear?
Niggas too.
People arguing with him.
It's females and black men
He's
saying
too young to get married. Almost all of those men. Josh Allen is engaged. Almost all these Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, all of them, they go ahead and start their family at a young age. So why was the black guy, or every time a black guy decides, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get married at a young age, why would they say that's something you shouldn't do? Why is that not encouraged for these millionaires to do this instead of doing like Anthony Edwards and getting a bunch of babies?
Okay, but wasn't the Travis Hunter dude the guy who was with the girl that was in the rap videos and all that stuff?
Yes.
I think that was more of where it's like, it appears to be obvious that she is not that into you. And so I think that was more so the backlash on that, as opposed to a young dude getting married.
This is coming from the same group of people who gave us Keke Palmer, who decided to leave this man as soon as she had a baby by going to Usher's going and flirting with Usher while he was at home with the baby. And black women did not say he was wrong. They said, they didn't say she was wrong. They said he was wrong. This comes from the same group. Had another black woman, Simmons, who broke up with her boyfriend and literally said these words. He didn't do nothing wrong. I just wasn't ready for all this. another one who
I
had a
agree.
baby. Yeah, all of these women. And as they do it, nobody says, well, if you're going to have a baby with a man, the little girl, but the same age as my daughter. Daughter used to sit there and watch her. China, whatever crap her name is. That's what her name was. No, that's a real name. China something. Or Sky something. Was a Nickelodeon, not Nickelodeon, but a Disney girl. She's got a baby and was fighting Yaya because they both got a baby by the same guy. No. She has a baby by this mixed guy. Won't let him see his baby. You watch all these things and they're accepting of these black women just putting babies on these men. They're accepting of them. Black women do not say, well, these men need to save themselves from these women, these thoughts that are out here trying to get them. They don't say it. They encourage those women because they know if those women can get a baby, then they too can get one.
Where is the man's responsibility in the partner that he chooses? If I choose a female has this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know the woman that you're dealing with. And a lot of times men will ignore those red flags because they're attracted to the woman or the woman is whatever. And they ignore these red flags and they continue on. And so don't we have a responsibility?
No, I do. I agree. Give me some ideas of red flags. Let me tell you what I think some of the red flags are.
Okay.
Talking like Jasmine Crockett, having a wig on like Jasmine Crockett, having a bunch of makeup on like Jasmine Crockett, twerking, already having children, not believing in family, not coming from families. These are all things that will point directly at the black women. And yet, if I tell these black men to not be with them, they will say that I hate myself for saying it. When I say black women, when I say don't be with a woman who wears a weave, guess who comes at me? Black women. Why though? They swear up and down white women wear weave more than they do. So why did they immediately take an affront to me
Since
saying this?
You're a new mom and
someone serious, this is kind of whore wardrobe.
Okay. So if we were to flip that backwards and say like women don't mess with men who smoke marijuana, right? And I don't know your life or whatever, but I know a lot of people I know smoke marijuana. And shit, they go to work, they pay their bills, they ain't doing no dope, they ain't jumping on no women. They like smoking,
yet these men will not try to fight women who say this. They will not get mad at them.
It's not a thing that's said.
Hold on. Whatever it is. They say that these women say they won't date a man under 6 feet. They say they won't date a man who makes under 6 figures. We don't get to say your daddy wasn't 6 feet. We don't get to say your daddy made less than 6 figures.
No, I understand that, but
they daddy fat.
No problem.
No, what I'm saying, they'll say it to us. They get a chance to say what their preferences are, and the only thing we can do is try to fit them if we want them. If their preference want a nice car, tell that woman she doesn't have the right to want a nice car.
Is that a black thing?
Yes, it literally is.
So wait. So white women don't prefer tall men. White women don't prefer men with money. White men don't do things in order to put themselves in a position to be attractive.
It's a black thing that the white men aren't allowed to have preferences to.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
It's a black thing that the men aren't allowed to have preferences to because white men are. White men can say they don't date a fat woman. White men can say they don't date women with children. White men can say they don't date a woman who have hair that ain't hers. Then a white man can get bitched out for saying I don't want to date a woman with a wig.
Okay, because we're picking out things that are specific in black culture. And
no.
We say the wig thing.
Wait. So having kids out of wedlock is specific in black culture.
No.
But that's one of the things I said. But you just told me I was picking out things that are specific in black culture. Would you like me to name them? Like what?
Weaves.
Black women say white women wear weaves more than they do.
Okay, I don't, whatever. But what I'm saying is that as far as me growing up this is anecdotal, this is my personal experience or whatever. Yep. Out in Detroit, they have hair shows, right? And it's a big part of the culture in Detroit as far as the weaves and blah, blah, blah. And so the idea that I would say don't date women with weaves, that's me saying don't date black women because a lot of black women
don't get backlash for saying
now won't date I don't date a man. And if you say don't date a man
if they
under
tell
6 feet,
Becky,
well, the majority of men
ain't dating no Becky's with weaves.
So should they get mad?
Ain't nobody gonna get mad at them. Becky just gonna wear her regular hair.
The majority of men don't make over 6 figures, especially black men. So you're literally what you're doing at that point is singling out black males.
But that's not the height and the money thing is not specific to black people.
Black males.
Okay.
The other males in the United States make more money than black males on average.
Right.
So then it would be specifically to them to get a chance with you. And the lowest earners just happen to be black males.
So if a white woman and a black woman say that they want a man that's financially successful,
I said,
you said, I'm
say
okay,
what I said. You have to repeat what I said. Financially successful, you can wiggle your way out of it and say that means anything.
Well, no, financially successful, financially successful, but 6 figures. Okay, the majority of white men don't make 6 figures.
There's a larger amount, a greater amount of white men who do than black men who do. And hearing a black woman say it, you just lowered the amount of black men who can get you.
But a white woman is doing the same thing when she says that.
Hold on. She's lowering the amount of white men and black men, but she still has a larger amount of white men.
Okay.
And now she has the successful black men, since they believe that black men, once they get successful, will then date the white women. Because black women will tell you a successful white man is not known to cross over.
Correct. Well,
so I don't know. So one has lowered theirs, but then increased it with the others. But the other lowered theirs and lowered it and made the few white men who would try her not try her at all.
Okay, but what people say and what people do are two different things. And it's men who say, I don't think it would overweight women, but their wife is overweight. And so what people say and what people do is two different things. And so what I'm saying is that if we're picking out things, if some of the things that we're choosing are specific within the black community, and we say we don't don't do that, I think it becomes a situation where we're disjoining the opportunity for us to be together. I agree with you when you have a woman making whatever, and she said, I don't want anything but $100,000 guy. This is silly because we haven't come up socioeconomically as a group to have a large amount of those people. And so we should meet each other where we are. I have no argument with that. It's just that,
silly for that woman wanting,
it's certain things that are specific to black culture.
But why would you think it was silly for that woman wanting what
I'm
she
sorry?
wants as well? But why would you think it was silly for that woman wanting what she wants?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, but
no, you said
the thing is that it's only a small percent.
Well, why would that be silly if it's only a small percentage? It's only a small percentage of people who make the NBA. You wouldn't tell somebody silly for wanting to go to it.
No, but I would tell somebody it's silly to put all your eggs. I would say it's silly to put all your eggs in. I would say it's silly to put all your eggs in one basket and not make other preparations if you want to go to the NBA.
But the people who made the NBA would
say it's silly to say, well, I'm going to the NBA and forget everything else and not make preparations to do other things. I would say that's
but the people who made the NBA, they'll tell you they did put all their eggs in doing basket. Michael Jordan did the same thing. Allen Iverson did the same thing. The top.
You're pointing out the people.
I'm saying the top.
These are like the greatest people to ever do it.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Every one of those NBA players, they put all their eggs in one basket. Patrick Mahomes was a baseball player and a football player. He got drafted by the Yankees.
Right.
So did Russell Wilson. So did John Elway. They put their eggs in one basket. What I'm trying to tell you is there's nothing wrong with putting your eggs in one basket. You see if you make it or you don't. If you don't make it, then you go and do something else.
I mean, I hear that, and the thing is that like if I had a child who was like physically gifted and this is what he was focused on, I would tell him to focus on this and blah blah blah. Like you had those success stories, but how many thousands and thousands and thousands of individuals that didn't make it ended up being like gym coaches?
Oh no, that's the whole point of shooting for the moon. There's a lot of people who didn't make it, and you know what they end up doing? The same thing the person who left high school and went and worked at McDonald's. They do the same thing. So why is it that we want to tell them that they shouldn't try it? So if a woman is really fine and she feel like I can get me a nigga that play in the league, why tell her she can't? Because when she decides that she can't, you know who's still available for her when she's done?
Regular nigga.
She could have got the regular nigga she could have got before she tried that.
Right, but see, I'm talking more. we may be talking about different things, because on an individual basis, if you have the tools to do something and you feel like you can make that particular goal, by all means. I'm talking about in a general state. If you have a pool of black women,
if a woman is 19, 20 and she knows she got the goods, she feel like she can bag her a man that's got that kind of money. How is it wrong for her to think that way? How is it silly that she's trying to think that way? Because
it ain't wrong for her to think that way, but it is wrong for the girl that's 200 pounds with 5 children. I'm sorry?
No, I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
I don't know, audio going in and out a little bit.
You were saying it's
that's LeBron James.
But it isn't, because those women.
What I'm saying is the girl you're describing is LeBron James.
I showed a picture of Amanda Bynes today. She used to look good. She don't no more. There was a girl, a friend of mine, he sent me a picture of the girl I used to date when I was in Arizona. That woman looked like she wearing a fat suit now. She was a 10-10. She literally looks like a different person. I thought when he sent me the video of her, I thought he was lying. Now, let me tell you what happened when I was talking to her. She was talking to me and a dude that played for the Patriots at the same time. She would go see him in New England and come see me in Arizona. She had a shot at both. Now she's apparently a single mother with 6 children. But she had that shot. So what I'm saying is, just because you have the shot, like you said, aren't there thousands of people who don't make it? She's one of those women that didn't make it. There are several women that got to lay down and get fucked by athletes, and the athletes was just fucking them, and that was it. They didn't make it. They shot for the moon and missed it.
Okay, I'm not going to deny that there's like negative situations. What should be promoted within our community?
What should be
promoted? Asking, do you think it should be promoted for women to say, I only want men? I'm asking, do you think that this should be promoted? You only want men who make over $100,000 a year or in the NBA?
You know why I think it should be promoted? Because men will work harder to get what women want. It's because it attracts females. There are many people who will tell you. I remember King Von said that the only reason he started rapping, he said, because all the rap niggas got all the bitches. These were his words.
So what happens to the guy to make? What happens to the guy to make 60,000? What happens to the guy to make 60,000 and go to work every day?
Life.
If we only promoting women should only deal with men who make 100,000, and me and you both just agree that that's a small percentage of our community, that's not balanced.
It wouldn't be. I just said it would make the men work harder to get that. You think men wake up every day when they're children? You think little boys wanted to be thugs when they was little? These little motherfuckers were scared of scary movies. Then they saw the thug getting all the pussy, and guess what they started wanting to be? Go on.
Thug. It's thugs.
Tell me at what point I'm telling a lie that men will, if they see that's what women want, men will do that.
I'm not arguing with that. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Again, if women required men to have degrees, you got to have a bachelor to get this pussy. You know how many niggas will be on college campus right now?
But no argument there.
So then why do you think saying the women asking for men to make this much money would harm blacks?
Well, I'm not saying that it would harm blacks. What I'm saying is that there's individuals who don't make that type of money and are not in a trajectory to make that type of money.
And that's called life. I wouldn't tell my kids to not try and be, and that's called life. I wouldn't tell my kids to not try to be valedictorian because there's only one.
No, I'm not making that argument. That's education. No, we want to strive for stuff like that. But what I'm saying is
called a life partner. A life partner should be someone that if you're a woman and you have daughters, any man will tell you. And in most cultures, they used to have to make a man pay a dowry to that father to get his daughter. I don't want to take care of you no more, bitch. So what I would like for you to do is get a man that will. A father's main goal is to pass your ass off to another man. That's why men are happy when his daughter is with someone that we know. Not only can I pass your ass off to this nigga, I might be able to borrow a couple dollars from this nigga.
No, that's cool. But what I'm saying is that if we have a small part of the population that's only making X amount of dollars, and then we have a larger part of the population that may be making less, that'll make those men, like, money doesn't define you as a man. No, and the thing is that like you can still be a good individual, but not make 100.
Yes, you can still be a good woman and be ugly as shit. Right?
That's true.
Right. And yet nobody sits there and tells their son, bring this ugly bitch home because she's nice. Nobody tells that. There's not a man that sit up there and say that about to his son. The most we'll tell our son is get a average bitch. We don't encourage him to get an ugly bitch. We don't do this.
Yeah, but as we
When
mature,
our son brings home a beautiful woman, we're proud of our son.
but that's superficial.
That's
like you said, in 10 years, it's like she might, but it's superficial. And like you said, 10 years from now, she like she wearing a fat suit.
And 10 years from now,
shouldn't we be promoting quality? I'm sorry.
Yes, and 10 years from now, she could become a bitch. There are plenty of men who could tell you they got married. I've been with plenty of girls, and they were great when I first got with them. They were everything I thought they'd be. Yeah. They turned to shit later. Their looks were still there. I've had more women turn to shit than women get ugly on me. Okay. I guarantee you there are more men out here will tell you they've had more women who still look the same when they fucked them over.
I agree. No argument there.
It's hard to argue.
But well, no. The thing is that my only framing is like my main discontent or disagreement is because don't get me wrong, as far as like the men and women thing, no argument there. It is true that a woman's attitude will change after marriage or at a time in marriage, and I've seen that firsthand. And so there's no argument there. The main thing that I had to discontent with is the idea that this group represents the entirety. Now, as far as these people existing, as far as like women giving these individuals a pass to where they should be the ones saying that this is bullshit behavior more so than anybody else, I agree with that. But I do not think it's a representation of reality to say that trashy behavior represents the majority of women, or even bigger than 15%.
And hold on a second. And we are 44 minutes into the show, ladies and gentlemen. I've had a wonderful show, and I want to thank my man, the Detroit boss, for coming. And he does have a Twitch channel. I'm going to let him advertise that. So go ahead and tell them where they can find you on Twitch first off.
It's just race, religion, politics, man. We do an almost daily show. We discuss the news, politics, racial debates, political debates, historical debates, all that. Black people are Indians, all that stuff. We argue about religion, so that's what we do.
And well, that's pretty cool. And I want you guys, the people that asked me, the deal ran out and people swearing up and down, y'all got to stop doing this. You didn't get a chance to get the deal over on the OnlyFans. And I don't like that, but I'm gonna give y'all another one. So you got to come and join it now. So go to join OnlyFans. It's 50% off. And like my man Detroit said, we have, if you go to my page, it's mass debates over there too. There's a lot of cunning winks.
You're a master debater.
Over there.
hey, I do want to say one thing, man. Like, to have a disagreement on Twitter is one thing. If you to say pull up, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak with you. A lot of times when you're on Twitter going back and forth, and I'll invite people like, hey, babe, we'll come have a conversation. They never do it. And so I appreciate you giving the opportunity, just, you know what I'm saying, to some random dude to have a conversation with you, man.
Well, you know, I'm always big on having a discussion. And again, guys, it's 50% off if you go over there because y'all, and I can tell some of y'all lying. Y'all email me and say, man, I didn't get a chance to get the discount. I ain't giving the discount it was before because I think I gave enough time. But 50% still amazing. And y'all can go see the interview with me and Misty Stone. So you can go see that along with the rest of them. There's wonderful stuff there. Go join now. Now, let me ask you, you said you really think it's bad, and you said because it's not fair. It doesn't represent this number. But I got to ask you this question. How do you know it doesn't?
Because, okay, you show the extreme ratchetness, trashiness, and bull behavior. And when I talk to the individuals, like your followers and individuals on the page, I said, hey, what percentage of Black women do you think in real life act this way? The numbers are 80, 90%. If just breaking that down logically, Black people would not be able, like, okay, if it's a restaurant and it's a Black woman going in there acting goddamn crazy, it's still 40 other people in there that's acting normal. The reason why it appears to be a bigger percentage is because crazy behavior stands out.
Well, I want to point something out to you. See, that's where you're wrong. Did you not see that video of the Black folks on the beach? Was it 40 to 50 of those Black people that were doing nothing? Or was it the entire crowd damn near that was doing something? When you see those fights at the restaurant, is it one person doing it or is it a group of them?
It's a group.
Yes.
It's a group. But
so
that's a group of the bullshit.
You said you'll see that one person, but you said you'll see that one person doing it and the rest of the people just sitting there. No. When you see it with Black folks, It's a gang of them doing exactly the same damn thing. For some odd reason, black people are real easy to mob ratchet mentality. If a bitch gets up and starts twerking, you didn't see that thing where all those women were twerking at that bus stop so much that the bus stop thing fell down and fell off. This is one of one black bitches doing this. It's not
those
one
bus
of
stop people.
Huh?
Those are bus stop people.
I've been at a bus stop. My daughter was just at a bus stop and rode the train.
Yeah.
You're saying because those people, right? So why is it that the white folks at the bus stop aren't doing that? They're just waiting on the bus.
I'm sure if you go to some trailer park or some meth capitals, it's some bullshit behavior going on, man.
Look at what you just said. Listen to what he said. Some trailer park meth capital.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go to a trailer park or a meth capital. But let me tell you, riding a bus isn't a trailer park or a meth capital. People in New York, people in Atlanta, these things all the time, and professional. So
and what I'm saying, people I think that if you don't take videos or whatever and use that to represent an entire group of people, I don't think that's reasonable. I was joking when I said those bus stop people, because I've spent some time on the bus myself. And
you started to sweep them.
But all I'm saying is this represents a particular minority of our community. And when we see it over and over and over again, we tend to think that represents the whole. I just don't like the idea of the negative part of our community representing the entire community. That's my overall thing.
I get it. And when I asked you simply, I said, what do you have to prove this? First thing you said was, well, when you see these fights, you'll see a one person fighting, but 40 people not. And I pointed to you, that's actually usually not true. You see a gang of them fighting. It always starts with one person fighting. It always leads to all of them fighting. It was a video where they stood around and said, let these two girls fight. By the end of it, they all were fighting and one got shot. Like,
I wasn't really being.
Somebody sent me a video of the two white girls fighting at a graduation. They were like, it's just like the black one. Well, the difference is that the graduation where the two white girls were fighting, it was just two white girls fighting. Everybody was trying to separate them. The graduation where the black girls were fighting, everybody with a cap and gown started fighting.
Yeah, but these are specific instances. I'm talking more in a general sense. If you have like what it used to be, it's not so much, it's a little gentrified now. But Detroit used to be like 90% black. And the thing is that Detroit got represented as this drug dealing, crazy, dangerous place or whatever. And as a person that lives there, these individuals that participate in this activity are a minority. The rest of the people is just going to work, taking care of their business. And so that minority tends to represent the whole. And I think that we are the only community that happens to. When it happens in a white community, it's just that person. But when it's in the black community, that represents all of them.
Because when you see in the black community, like with all of that dancing at the graduation. This became a nationwide thing of niggas doing this. Niggas didn't condemn it. I asked you earlier, if you don't condemn the charge, then that means you accept the charge. Why is it that only time black folks want to say it's not all of us is when someone says, I saw y'all doing this. But when they saw us doing it, when they say things like that's the culture, because that's a word Negroes came up with to describe that we as blacks all do this. You can get talked about black people if you don't do something and you black, they're gonna say you ain't black.
In certain situations, yes.
So why is it that again we can do that to each other and no one says a word? You don't see nobody defend when they tell the nigga that he don't eat no collard greens, he ain't black. You don't see them defend the nigga that doesn't speak Ebonics. They say he's not black. You don't see them defend him. You don't see them defend him. And say we are a diverse group of people. Why would you say he got to be this way? We are diverse.
I agree. We are diverse, but
Then why is it that we are the main ones who pigeonhole each other?
we pigeonhole each other because we are a minority within a country, and we do have a subculture within this country, and we do have to protect certain parts of our culture. Now, the negativity stuff, I think we should point that stuff out and say, hey, this is not acceptable. But like as far as our food, whatever, other parts of our culture, I think we should safeguard our culture. We should promote it.
Wait. So we got to protect having a name like Jamar Quavius because if your name is Chris, Chad, or Tom, you got a white name? We should protect that?
Okay. I got it's if you knew my real name, I got one of the whitest names you can ever have. And the thought process is, and I remember being young, and I wanted a name like Kaleem and whatever. Like I wanted one of those. Like I was, like, why is your name this? She said, I want you to be able to get a job. And I want you to have an opportunity when they see your resume that you have an opportunity to sit in the seat and they have a chance to meet you and you have an opportunity to get the job.
When what she should have done was protect the culture.
I'm sorry?
When what she should have done is protect the culture and give you a name like Jabari.
But the thing is that shouldn't you be able to name your child whatever you want to?
Well, that's what I was just
maybe talking about this specifically.
But yes, that's what I was just advocating. That you should be able to name your child whatever you want to. And yet, Black folks are the first ones to tell you about what you named your child.
I haven't had that experience. I'm not going to discount yours, but like,
why is it that you feel like you wish you had one of those names then? Where did that come from? Who told you this?
Because I was a child, and as a child, you view things in a childish manner, and I thought the unique name was cool.
Unique?
I have a very common name. Like my name is very common.
I understand. But you also thought you had a white name, and you also was told this because you didn't think it was white until you were told that. Just like I didn't think I was dark until I was told that. And the people who are telling us whites, because when your name is Chad and you Black, white people don't walk up to you and say, you got a white name. Your name is just Chad. They're actually glad your name is Chad because it's easier for them to read on the first day of school. They're glad your name is Chad because they don't have to fuck it up when they say it.
When just as a thing, like you did say earlier that you said Black people in America are not a monolith, and I do agree with you, right? And the culture, the Detroit culture that I came from, it was a somewhat of a revolutionary attitude. And so the idea of having a white name was considered negative because we viewed
that's all I'm saying.
Parts of our culture.
You're just
some parts of our culture view white people as enemies.
I understand. You're still just proving my point. No matter why I beat that bitch ass, if you said I beat that bitch ass, I still beat that bitch ass. The why did not change that I beat that bitch ass. It may have made you feel bad about it, but her ass was still beat. And all I was pointing out was you learned that your name was white from Black folks, not from white folks.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that point.
Right. So I'm saying the group that should want to be more diverse is the one that's pushing other Blacks to these damn generalizations, as you say, where they're being pushed towards them. The little Black girl, and my daughter talks about this, who doesn't have the nice silky weave on and who doesn't know how to twerk and who doesn't have the tattoos is not looked at as authentic. My daughter said that a Black dude in her high school told her that she was whitewashed because of how she talks.
Yeah. I know about that part.
So again,
generalization isn't, perfect.
So what I'm saying though, is if Blacks generalize themselves, they can't get mad at somebody else for doing it. When they see a Black girl shaking her head, they don't say that's a stereotype. They say that's what we expect. That's a real sister right there. They're proud of her for acting out the stereotype. Sir, they are. You've never seen them mad at show me some Black women mad at Jasmine Crockett then. Show me something that's mad at Jasmine Crockett for continuing to get on television and cuss.
I'm mad, but I can't, and as far as, of course not. And as far as the video
about them, because it's making them look bad. Just like when Black people do Black things and we sit up there and encourage it, it's making us look bad and it's hurting us. So every time that Black women wanted something to not look a certain way, they would protest it. Just like they protest racism. Just like they protest they don't get a job. Just like they protest you didn't give them good service at the restaurant. They protest these things, sir. They don't say, well, that's just how it goes. Whites are going to treat us and get mad that a white person is treating them well at a restaurant. You being anti-white, you gonna need to. You don't do this. So why is it that things that they know make them feel bad, they try to fight against them? Police brutality. Do the majority of police go out and whoop niggas' ass? No. Them
But I
damn
heard,
riots in the middle of the street made you think they did.
but I heard, wait, the majority of police do not go out and whoop ass. But
Sure don't.
the people who get their ass whooped are 3 times more likely if they're black.
Huh. So let me get this straight. It's a very small percentage of blacks who get their ass whooped. And there's actually more whites who get their ass whooped. So now you want to go back to per capita.
12% of the population. Sorry?
Hold on, per capita.
Mhm.
And in a year, what percentage, since you asked me what percentage of black women do I think are ratchet, what percentage of cops do you think are abusive to blacks?
Never, what, 5 to 10% maybe?
Mhm. A complete minority ended up having a whole nationwide riots.
Protests, and a small percentage of those individuals did things outside of the protests that turned them, to the riots. But we can't say that the majority of people that went out there was doing riot activity.
Nationwide felt like this was an issue that we need to march for 5% of the problem.
Well, I think the marches was more so of a thing where it was black people getting killed and the police weren't even being indicted. And so it wasn't even a thing where they were even being held accountable for what was going on. And we was able to see it now. And in the black community, we have been saying since forever, hey man, these police treat us differently. And nobody believed us. And then when we start seeing it on camera, it was like, oh, this is happening. But then those people were
treat us differently. That 5%. That 5%.
I think that was the main
5%
problem that was going on. They were not being accountable.
Hold on. That 5% treats us differently? That 5%?
No. We talking about 2 different things. If we talk about 5%, the 5% is the ones that maybe kill somebody or beat somebody. But as a whole, now we're talking about how police treat black people as opposed to white people.
Please tell me you understand numbers. Out of millions of people, and 5% were murdered. Do you know what number that would be?
If it's 100, I mean it's 5. But we're talking about 2 different things. The 5% that the 5% that I'm stating is an actual action that occurs that results in death or injury. As far as how
that is a large
people
number.
are treated negatively by police, I would say it's a lot larger percentage. These are 2 different things.
Okay, so what's the number you think are treated negatively by the police, and what is your idea of negatively? He's not smiling when he's
not being treated the same way as anybody else. In a negative
way.
How
do you know how somebody else is treated?
Whatever.
How do you know how somebody else is treated? How do you know this?
I didn't. Hold on a second. Hold on. Audio blanked out a little bit. Could you repeat that, please?
I said, how do you know you're being treated differently?
Okay. I know if I'm being treated negatively.
How do you know it? When you say you're being negative,
I'm sure of that, but I don't think say that I'm being treated differently. But
that's my point.
Why is audio?
But who expects the cop?
Audio is tripping.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me, man?
I can. Hello.
Okay, I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question, sir?
You said you know you're being treated negatively.
Yes, it's freezing.
So what does that mean? Because now we went from I'm being treated differently than these other people. I'm like, if you didn't see it, you don't know. Now you're saying you're being treated negatively. Well, you're walking into a situation where you just broke a law. You broke a traffic law. How should he treat you? Most people think that getting the actual ticket is negative. It ruins their day.
Well,
they will argue at the cop. They will cuss at the cop. Tell the cop they weren't speeding.
No.
Who do you think is treated more negative?
Well, maybe anecdotal, but in Detroit, the thing is this. In Detroit, when you deal with police, when I was going to work for the city, you had to live in the city. So you should be whatever I was into. When I crossed the border into the suburbs, going back and forth to work, getting pulled over for no reason, getting snatched up for no reason, getting talked to crazy. And so I can assume, and of course you don't know with assumptions, that they're not treating the people from that particular community that way, because there's no outcry, there's nobody saying anything. And so, yeah, specifically, I can't say, like 100% that I'm being treated differently, but I definitely can tell the difference when I'm in Detroit and I'm dealing with a black police officer, and then when I go in the suburbs and I get pulled over because I did a lane change without waiting 3 seconds, and now I'm getting pulled over. They got me on the side of the road, they're pulling all my stuff out, and they're talking to me crazy. I can definitely see that difference, and I know that that's negative compared to what happened on my side of Avon.
Okay, now let me ask you something. Who do you think treats who the most negatively?
You don't think that black people get treated differently by police in America?
Do you don't think that white people might act differently when being pulled over by police in America? We're talking about thinking. So both of us are just talking about what's on our minds, what we might think. Well, I know when I go to Chick-fil-A and I got white people serving me, the white people are generally very nice. I know when I go to a black place, what is just black women serving me? The black women are generally not. I know when I watch these videos that we see online, these cam videos, the black women immediately get defensive and argumentative with the police, even when they're being nice. Now, you've seen way too many black women being addressed in a normal manner, and they cussing out the cop, fighting the cop, then telling the cop what they ain't gonna do, where they ain't gonna go. So when you say so-and-so is being treated differently, that's like me saying the women treat those guys differently than me. And somebody watches the tape and say, well, you calling them bitches and hoes as soon as you walk up to him. He's not. He brings them flowers, you slapping them. You know full fucking well the majority of white people, when they get pulled over by the cop, they sitting there, what did I do, officer? It is a joke.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can hear me, man. I think I need to read.
Read? Cola?
You can hear me.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me. You said you think you can read Cola.
Yeah, I can read this. I don't know how to. I'm sorry, it's my first thing.
I'm about to get you a microphone instead of a headset.
Yeah, man. No problem. I take all donations, man. But hey, I want to at least restart this because I'm not hearing. I'm hearing every other word.
Go ahead. And as a matter of fact, I know you said you work. But go ahead and restart. I was going to say, would you like to start and maybe do a part 2 tomorrow or something? But he'll be back. He'll be back. Yes, he will. Trying to explain why black women fight. He'll to explain why these black women like to fight and kill. He's back, ladies and gentlemen, trying to explain to us how our eyes, ears, and family members are wrong. There's this conclave of black women somewhere who are the sweetest and nicest thing. They just not been exposed to the rest of us, but it's a gang of them, like the Amazonians.
Oh, damn it.
They exist.
Hey, if you don't, I would love to talk to you tomorrow, man, and get my technical issues figured out, because I would like to know your, I would like to discuss maybe, some politics with you and get an idea of your, political ideology.
Oh, that'd be perfect. And people said that they like it. Jacob said this is a good, respectful debate. So you've comported yourself very well here. You got bludgeoned with the facts, but you're taking a beating. But you keep coming out that corner.
You kick my ass so much, my internet going out. your internet shut up my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, your internet don't throw in the damn towel. Throw in the damn towel.
It's no issue, man. The thing is, man, I do think that this should be promoted where individuals can disagree as men and disagree respectfully and walk away reasonably. And so, this is a very good experience.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did. I just wish your internet.
Very good experience.
I enjoyed it. I really did. I just wish well, his internet sucks.
Is this on? Where's this airing? Is this on Rumble?
Yeah, it's on Rumble, and it was on Hit, and it was on my website, and it's on Twitter, and it's on Twitch.
Where's this airing?
I'll send you the link so you can go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's on Rumble, and it was on. Okay, cool. Okay,
All right,
cool.
well, I appreciate you coming
All
through.
right, I appreciate
Let's
it,
get
man.
you-
Yeah, man.
Let's get you a mic, man. Them Yetis are cheap.
All right, no problem, man. You have a great day, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, that was DJ Boss. I appreciate y'all for coming and listening to me do a one-on-one. If you know or have someone that wants to do a one-on-one, y'all doing all of my stuff the same way. I give y'all a link, tell y'all come join me. Everybody always talk shit. You see they do it on Twitter, but they never come do it. Then I give you the link and I tell you, okay, y'all ask me, y'all scroll up and down. Hey, trying to join the OnlyFans, didn't get a chance to join the OnlyFans simply because you, by the time I found out you had a deal running, the deal was gone. That's the lie that's being told. Hey, trying to join the OnlyFans, didn't get a chance to join the OnlyFans simply because.
That shit, that was ridiculous. What the hell? An hour and 20 minutes. Let me see. Let me go down the tummy rabbit hole. Fuck it. Since I'm already on his channel. Damn. I'm seeing. I did this. I've watched that one. Here's one. Why are they doing nothing? Oh, we got to play the ads first.
A nation isn't just built, it's powered. This year, Chevron is investing $9 billion.
Man, oh man, oh man. Hopefully we're good. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. One check. My man, Weasel always in the building. That's when you know you got people who are really fans of whatever it is that you're doing. I'm on my way. Give me a moment to get ready and thank you. All right. So I told a dude to come and join me today. What's up, Hayes? Black Hayes in the building. Willie78 says, what's up? I told a dude to come join me, and he said he would come join me. So hopefully he'll be able to come about what it is that I put on. It's a video that I put on to just a second ago, Twitter and Instant. Saturday afternoon. I binge watched last night. And this morning I probably got to binge watch it again because y'all know what happened when you binge watching. You usually go to damn sleep. I binge watch the Squid Games. So I was able to take a look at that. So what's up, Tommy? What's up, Tommy? Get these bone quishes today. I'm going to try also, ladies and gentlemen, there's a link in the description box that'll take you to my OnlyFans page. And if you want to watch the fight with Jake Paul tonight and me, you need to join the OnlyFans page. You need to join my website at the $15 or more. You need to buy the Telegram one, which is a year for $200, which gets you the OnlyFans. So it's a great deal all around. But are you guys going to come and watch the fight with me? Because that's what we need to be doing. What up, Lady Akuma? My man Chris in the building. Sui in the building. Fury is in the building. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We will be watching the fight tonight. Starts at 8 o'clock. So I told you guys, I did not know it was one coming up. I was going to sleep all day. I'm not even gonna lie. And somebody said, hey, I joined OnlyFans because you said you was going to watch all the fights. And I said I was. And he said, well, what about the one tonight? And I said, well, who's fighting tonight? I said, Jake Paul. I said, well, I didn't know. I had no idea Jake Paul was fighting tonight. So you just paused your key sweat. There you go. So I had no idea he was fighting tonight. So all of you guys who are, and I will send you the link. I will send it a few ways via OnlyFans and in the OF and the Telegram group. So you'll get that. I didn't get it, but I want to. I asked you before. Stop. Man, relationship rehab is in the building. The guru in the building. I'm not going to keep asking you to stop doing that on my show, sir. This is getting old. I do a show. It would be equivalent of you following the Four Tops around talking about some why you keep saying. If you say, and I want all my, because I am on repeat, sir. That's what people who have a message do. They are on repeat, sir. I'm not gonna let anybody else make a point I've been trying to make. don't fuck with none of you niggas. You niggas come to fuck with me. And then sit there and jack off as I go off on your punk ass. Every day, you say some stupid shit. And I say something back. Who the fuck does this? What's wrong with y'all? And I keep forgetting I am who I am. I keep thinking I'm just a regular nigga. So I don't understand why you want attention from a regular nigga. Number, I just play basketball. Shit. I keep forgetting that some of you motherfuckers will do anything to get a response from me. So if you can't get one the regular way, you'll be a dumbass to keep hearing the same thing. Because I'm sitting up here thinking, why in the fuck would I keep on responding to this bitch nigga? I done told him once. I done told him twice. I done told him several motherfucking times. If you don't like me, leave me the fuck alone. But he won't. So if I say anything else to Dallas again, you know what that means? I'm going to tell y'all right now. That either means him or using this to try to play y'all, and so I can have some beef, because I ain't had no beef with nobody, so I need beef, and I need y'all to think that there's some beef going on, so I can have one of these rants. If this happens again, y'all know I can set that shit up. That's what it is. If I say another motherfucking word about a nigga named Dallas, that let y'all know my show done got stale, and I need somebody to argue and keep at. I seem to surround myself with people I want to change, people I think I can talk to into a better situation. That's my problem. Thank you, Aaron. That's my problem. I keep thinking if I give a nigga another chance, he'll stop. I keep thinking if I tell a bitch, if you do this, they'll stop. And what it is they get used to it. See, they just around and you keep coming like it because you keep leaving the bitch arguing about the same thing. It's a dance. I don't want that dance no more. No more in my life, ladies and gentlemen. Do I want that dance anywhere in my motherfucking life? If I got to tell you the same damn thing again, starting the day forward, you got to go. Because that means either I like telling you that you fucking up, or you like fucking up and watching me be upset. It's a dance I don't want to play no more. Leave me alone, man. You like race baiting? Yes, I do. I'm a race baiter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Tommy Soto. This is the show. I don't like race bait all day. Race jealous because black women wouldn't talk to me when I was in a little dick. I'm gay. It's the only way I can make money. All of the things that you say, get this show. So if you get this show, you don't see. You go, my friends. Jake Paul tonight starting 8 o'clock. And I hope you guys, hey, look, who gets the thank you? That's why I said they say something that's this shit. You sit so they can be. You ain't get no pussy's kid. Like, what? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring a young man over here before we get the show started. He was over in the comment section. He asked this question. And I told people, stop asking me questions unless you're willing to ask me questions. Well, I give him credit. He decided to come and ask me these questions. He asked on the stage. We'll bring him on the stage. Governor Chris, what's going on with you?
What's up, Tommy? I appreciate this. Thank you.
No problem. All right, you asked me a question online after I posted a video about these black women who were asked a very offensive question by a white man, and they proudly answered it. You asked me a question. Go ahead, let them know what the question was you asked.
The question was, I was just asking, why don't you use your intellect and energy in order to fix the black woman opposed doing a very good job pointing out her.
You know about my intellect.
I would listen to you, so you're not a fool. I don't listen to fools. That's just my.
Of them. And why did you have to lead with your perception of me?
Okay, so your perception of them is not wrong, but if I think that the goal should be able to fix the black woman if we are black ourselves. If she does have
You think
a
that
problem.
you think that should be the goal? Have you ever asked me what is my goal?
What is your goal?
No, we have to deal with that first. I said, have you ever thought to ask me that?
No, I've never asked you, but yeah, I've never asked you.
But shouldn't it be like, then that's the thing. That should have been the thing you have wanted to know. Because my goal might just be to fuck black women, embarrass black women, make money off black women. It could be several different things. But what you did was give me your perception of me, basically like trying to, no, it is. You know, if you say, it's like selling a woman as pretty as you, why would you be doing that? You're literally trying to tell her.
And that's the truth a lot of the times. It's a good point most of the time. It's never really used and it's inaccurate, right?
Well, technically it is, because you don't know. You're just saying something, saying, I want you to think of you this way so you can feel bad about what you did. Think about it. Every time it's not used to make you feel good about what you did. It's used to make you feel bad about what you did.
Yeah, but you know you have the ability to fix that.
What do you mean?
You have the ability to fix that. If you have the ability to point out the flaws consistently and go against the grain by yourself and still be successful, then you can apply that same know-how the other way as well, if you chose to.
So if I have the ability to be honest, that's all
you had the ability to be.
Never waste a single round on zeroing your optics again. This tiny upgrade allows your scope in 5 seconds.
More benevolent, or not understanding, but nicer. Maybe
yeah, but you don't know if I have that ability. You want me to have that ability. It's the same thing if you want the pretty woman poor. Want her not liking fucking a bunch of people. You're saddened that she does.
You're too pretty to be doing that. Yeah, but it's so few of black men that are able to have like influence that you have, right? So
what influence do I have? I tell the truth and people listen.
But it's not only just the truth, it's the truth they don't want to hear.
Yeah, but you have to understand what made me, if I got a big name, what made me have a big name? Imagine if Michael Jordan, what made him have a big name was him dunking. Why would you then ask him to stop dunking? When the reason people wanted to see him was they wanted to see him dunk.
Yeah. But it's cool too to come back and play for who do you have? I don't know.
He played for the Washington Wizards. And a lot of people today believe it ruined his legacy. It ruined a part of his legacy. No, seriously. Nobody who said the hardest touch. The guy who saw this way looking down. Think about it. Hard when I saw my grandmother and her last day of see her, I knew. And that's remember.
So are you saying that if you
no, what I'm saying to you is, why would you tell me that I have a following and then tell me to abandon them?
Not abandon them, but I think that maybe the black woman probably as a whole more than the following.
So if a girl that was in the street that I really liked, so if a girl that was in the street that I really liked, you told me she really needs me, who would need to acknowledge that she really needs me? You as the outsider looking in, or her as the object of my desire?
If you just want me to basically answer it, it would be you. It would be based on what you decided.
No, I'm saying she would have to be the one to recognize that she needs me in her life. You can't say it. You can't tell me that she needs me in her life. If she doesn't recognize it, why would you telling me that this girl needs me change that this girl doesn't think she needs me?
I just think that a lot of times men, we can like be powerful and get them to need us sexually or their time or their money. But when it comes to actually repairing them, it's like we're like
women to think that they need our money. I'll answer it for you. Because they have a need of money. They know they have a need of money. They wake up every day knowing that they have certain bills and knowing they can't pay them. That's why I can fuck a lot of women who I probably wouldn't be able to get to fuck before, because they have a need and I can solve it.
So,
But
but
guess
that's
what?
go ahead.
How can I sell you a window if you don't believe you need windows?
Well, you know that saying, I can sell water to a whale or salt to a slug. There's some people that look beyond the person's resistance, right?
Yes,
How
and you got to get them in order to make the sale, to sell that water to a whale or salt to a snail. What do you have to get them to believe before you make the sale?
in their best interest.
That they need this.
That you're speaking in their interest.
I used to be
That
find
people
their
buy
pain.
you, not the product.
You got to find their pain. Anybody else been in sales? Tell them if I'm lying or not. You got to find their pain. If you can reach, it's because what happens then is they commiserate with you. That's why a lot of people are like, man, yeah, and they know you got kids. Man, these kids be getting on your nerve, don't they? But you know, they speak to you in that thing that you recognize, that pain you have. You've been broken up with, speak to you about pain. They need to find your pain. You talk to someone that you a lot with someone you can't. Do you think people follow me? My first video that went viral, you know what it was called? Viral. The type of black woman that everyone hates. Go on the internet and watch it and see, what does the medicine tell you? You do that. They're trying to find your pain. So they don't sell you on them. They don't care if you know anything about them or not, other than their name and how to get it. They sell you on you need it. They sell you on I can fix your problem. Your sound is doing something weird. Is it his sound or mine? Hey guys, can y'all hear me? Is it his? Because his sound on my end sounds bad, but it may be mine. Okay, they said it's yours. Do you need to drop out and come back in? Me is fun. So what I'm gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, while he gets ready to come back in, you say I'm good. I'm gonna get ready to start the show because I want to talk to you guys about black women. And remember, we're gonna be watching the fight tonight. If you have not gone and joined over on OnlyFans, there's a 50% off. Any of the packages from the $15 up will get you. You can also buy the OnlyFans Telegram, which gets you OnlyFans. And remember, as well as the website. Any of the packages from $15 up will get you.
Yeah. For the first time, it's going down history, baby. New 360 Mafia. Featuring A-Ball and MJG. Young Buck. We gotta
I don't know why this shit won't mute. I don't know why it won't fucking mute. I'm trying to mute it. Okay, it finally muted. He still got the damn video, so it's not gonna make much difference. Let me skip through this. It's rain. I may have went too far.
Sean, and I don't know why.
I'm loud and obnoxious. I like music that rhymes. I'm an eighth of the population, but I commit half of the crime. Who am I?
I've had one too many shots. I don't know.
Well, I think yes.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah, phone your friend. Maybe all four of you can figure it out combined, all right?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm loud and obnoxious. I like music that rhymes. I'm an eighth of the population, but I commit half of the crime. Who am I?
Black.
You are correct. You guys didn't win anything. I don't know why you guys are so excited. But...
No, you seriously lying.
Now, I want y'all to pay some attention to what I wrote on Twitter. This is what I wrote. I said, black women are the world's biggest race traders. White dudes ask wearing black dude chicks an amazingly racist question, and they answer him with glee. Yet when I say something similar, they get mad at me. They quit to try and get us to hating the white man when you've never seen one of them say no to dating the white man. Now, what I did was did my own little poem like he did, my own little rhyme, and my rhyme is very true. They will tell black men that you suck in the white man's dick, all these things. You're a sellout. Tell me I'm lying. They will tell you all these things about you and anything you say. And let me tell you, I've heard it my whole career that you guys have seen. Everything I do is because I want to kiss the white man's ass, suck the white man's dick. All of these things they'll say to me because I say something that's true. Yes, I was trying to rhyme. I did it on purpose because he had a rhyme. So you sit and you watch the way that they handle you and tell you doing something for the white man. But let me tell you what you've never seen them do. And when I said in my rhyme, you've never heard them say no to dating a white man. In something as slutty and disgusting as porn, there are white women who will still refuse to fuck black men. They'll say it. Texas was one of them. What will I do? You know what you've never heard? You've never heard a black porn actress say, she will not fuck a white man. I won't do that. Why not? Why is it that a black woman has never said ever, that I will not fuck a white man? As a matter of fact, they believe it makes them a higher class of porn actress if they only fuck white men. There are black actresses who will not fuck white men. And when they finally end up fucking, what happened to them? You know what that also looks like? Dating preferences. The show I did about that black girl who dates nothing but white men, but went on a pop the balloon show with a black man. And then you go look on her YouTube channel, and it was right after a white man dumped this bitch. It was right after Down and Out. We're not the person they fuck when they at their highest. When they're at their highest, they won't fuck with you. Right? The girl who did Zion. When they're at their highest, they won't fuck with you. When they're down, you can get it. You can get a black woman's pussy. Now let me explain more. So you tell me I'm a sellout for what I say about black women. Y'all try to get me off the internet. Bitch, try to. You know who they didn't try to get off the internet? Ghetto gaggers. You know who they don't call sellouts? The black girls who do it. Why not? They actually are sucking the white man's dick. They actually are kissing the white man's ass. You have never seen a black woman get boycotted or kicked off of any damn blackness or she can no longer come to the picnic because she got a white husband, because she got a white boyfriend. I pointed out that DJ Kid was able to fuck over 700, not only fuck, but take photos with over 700 black women. Never. Why is that? He was able to get 700 black chicks to fuck him raw and take pictures with him. How? If black women were not race traders, why is it that white dudes don't have a problem fucking them? And these are the same people who then turn around and tell you that when you get money playing basketball, baseball, or football, it was a sellout. This person wrote, Shonda Rhimes became a billionaire selling black women that powerful white man. But there's a young man who's on the line, which I'm gonna let him talk in just a second, who felt like the way that I go about talking should be talked about another way. But I want you guys to see this video again, and there may be a couple of things you didn't see. Take a look.
Riddle. I'm loud and obnoxious.
Look at you to let you know they're interested. She's looking this man directly in his mouth.
I like music that rhymes. I'm an eighth of the population, but I commit half of the crime. Who am I?
Right, she's trying to fuck. And then women will let you know this.
I've had one too many shots. I don't know.
Come on, take a guess.
Look at what she does with her hand. First, hers. Why did this woman reach to the back of the hair that is on the back of her head to pull it to the front? That is another flirtatious move. And if there's any women out there that can tell this man that I'm lying, go ahead and tell him. This is this black woman with hair that she does not possess. She put this hair on, well, she possesses it because she bought it, and she had to put it in her head. She reaches to the back. Again, watch how she subtly takes this hair that's out. You wouldn't want it in the way. You do not in the way. Trying to act like a white girl now, doing the whole look at the movement, trying to, because she knows he's white, and she's trying to be the white girl, this showing all those teeth. And this, watch her movements.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah, phone your friend.
The hair flipped back. Any woman, tell me if I'm lying. So after pulling this hair in the front, she then flips this back like that. Listen to how her accent changes, and then she brings over another one, and a black woman with a wig on. I'm in front of this white deer, looking him in his mouth.
Who am I?
Black.
You are correct.
But we can't have a discussion where someone asks us, I don't date women with short hair. A villain. A villain. Bro, you are breaking this shit down like Kevin Costner did at JFK. Back it to the left. As my man Brian. Many times when you guys watch these things, and I have to tell y'all guys, as I watch things as a psychologist, and what you look at how they jumped up and literally what they're doing.
Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Bizkit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the tidbit. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old. It's some focus. Shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coding. Memphis niggas spit this pippin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Say hi, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Copy, cooking, whipping, shipping, till we count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving pack niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating, but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we don't eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, I need some more, nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach. I'm true geek, walking by myself, but left with 2 freaks. Ooh, we, nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah, baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy, or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2 breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches just some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island, cause I like my love for choosy. When we link, it's a movie. She bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me. I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Ron Island, cause I love my love for choosy. When we link, it's a movie. She bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me. I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Bizkit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Bizkit.